Oh man, how many times are we gonna go through this, guys? How many times are we gonna go through this over and over again? I'm sitting here like, guys, version 5.4 is gonna be a complete disaster. It's gonna be the worst update in the game. And so many people are saying, Faros, you're overreacting. There's nothing really too bad about version 5.4. This isn't the first time that the devs implemented filler patches in Genshin Impact. This isn't anything new. Plus, it's gonna give us some time to catch up. Cope. This is by far the worst update I have ever seen in the fucking game. And a lot of people actually dislike this update. So we're gonna go ahead and watch this video made by another content creator named Glaive Keo. I think that's how you say his name. I might have said his name wrong. I completely apologize. But he made this video like 1 day ago. And we're gonna check this out. We're gonna check out this video to see what he has to say. Make sure you guys go ahead and subscribe to his channel. I would really appreciate it. And by the way, guys, I am getting a new camera on Monday. Yes, I'm getting a new camera on Monday. You guys are going to see a lot of, zoom in videos where you guys are going to see my face. It's going to be really dope. This camera is complete dog shit. Waste of $60, but this new camera costs like I think $340. It was insane, man. I think like 340 or 399 and plus tax, so it's like 420. So it is coming in on Monday. And we about to make some banger content, man. Banger content. And if you guys are new here on the channel, this is just the beginning, man. This is just the beginning. Just wait till Ananta and Arknight's infield drops. Cannot wait to cover those games on the channel. We're cooking, guys. We are absolutely cooking. But let's go ahead and react to this.
Drops yet another dry filler patch. The debate resurfaces like clockwork. Some players claim that they love these dry filler patches, say they need them. Their logic, it gives me time to catch.
That's literally the same thing you guys remember when I said that, right? I'm telling y'all, am I the prophet for Genshin Impact? Bro, every single thing I caught so far, it actually happened. Eon San being a 4-star character, version 5.4 being a complete disaster, and players literally coping saying, we need to catch up to the game. If you guys haven't watched my Genshin 5.4 reaction video, go react to it in my response to the Genshin Shield's coping. It was hilarious. But I literally called all these things, and it fucking happened. I told y'all, the coping in this community is next level. We need time to catch up. What are you catching up to? Like, I'm being dead ass. What are you catching up to? Picking up mint flowers? Like, is that what you're catching up to? The game has been out for 4 fucking years, and you guys have been saying the same shit over and over again. We need time to catch up. Catch up to what? Like, literally, what are you catching up to? It's insane.
Catch up. They use this downtime to clear story quests they ignored for months, finish exploring the 75% of the map they barely touched, or finally build
What is
that
up with this
character
quality?
they pulled 6 banners ago but never actually used. But then there's the other side. The people looking at this argument and going, hold on, you're celebrating the fact that a game has nothing to do. That's not a feature, that's a problem. Because if the best thing about a patch is that it lets you ignore it, what does that say about the state of the game? This isn't just a casual debate, it's a fundamental question about game design. Are these dry patches actually beneficial to the player's experience, or are
Thank you. It's like it doesn't make sense to me how they have been doing this for 4 years. Like we look at Genshin Impact's update cycle, right? So you guys notice by now, every 2 or 3 updates we have like an Archon quest. Version 5 point like point 0 update to like version 5.2 or like a version 0.3 update. That's how long the Archon quests last. They last for like up to 3 or yeah, 2 to 3 updates, right? And then after that, it's just straight filler, right? After version 5.3, I'm pretty sure that was the update for like the last Archon quest for Natlin. After version 5.3, we got version 5.4, which is literally filler. And then version 5.5 is going to be filler as well because you have Eon Sun and you have this freaking cowgirl. Definitely going to be filler. And then 5.6, filler as well. It's like their update cycle is too fucking slow. And the amount of time it takes for them to release a new region, it just takes forever. And that's why I say the pacing for this game is absolute dog shit. Because how can you guys focus on the main story for like 2 or 3 updates, and then after that you drop like 5 or 6 filler updates? It's insane. And I'm pretty sure for Snezhnaya, it's not gonna release for like 2 years. It's like, guys, the pacing is horrible, man. There's just no excuse for it whatsoever. There's no excuse because you look at games like Wuthering Waves. I think we only had like 4 updates. I think up to version 1.4. I think I might be this might be a mistake. I think it was version 1.4, and then after 1.4, version 2.0, which is Renacita. So they only had, I think, 2 or 3 filler updates, filler patches, and then after that, brand new region, continuation of the main story, which is really good. That's good pacing. The game has been out. It hasn't even been out. It hasn't even been out for a year yet, and we're already in a new region. Meanwhile, for Genshin Impact, you guys remember? I think it took us like 2 years for us to finally reach Inazuma. Like their update cycles are too fucking slow, and it's just ridiculous, man. It's just bad.
Are they just a symptom of creative stagnation? Because at some point you have to ask, is hoyoverse giving players breathing room, or are they just running out of ideas? Let's break it down.
They're
First of
they
all,
are
I'm
running
not
out of
a game
ideas.
developer yet. I don't work for a gaming company yet. But come on, how hard is it for hoyoverse to make a decent patch? This is the same company that shamelessly lifts ideas from other games and anime, waters them down, and calls it a day. They have the money, the resources, and the industry dominance to
Oh, you guys remember when all those people were saying this game is a Breath of the Wild copy, and then now that Wuthering Waves came out, now Wuthering Waves is the Genshin Impact copy. That argument, that shit will forever be funny because of the hypocrisy. It's insane. The hypocrisy is just hilarious.
to make every patch at least solid. So why are we still getting filler, and why are you still liking it? And let's not act like this is a new issue, by the way. The pattern has been obvious since launch.
Because they're idiots. They're just idiots. If you like playing Genshin Impact, there's nothing wrong with that and continue playing the game. But honestly, at this point, if you're still spending money on the game, you're a fucking idiot, bro. You're just an idiot because I always see this excuse over and over again. We're spending money because we want to support the developers. What are you supporting, bro? You're not supporting anything because $99 million, man. They made $99 million. 99 million for the month of January. And I think December, I don't know. But they made that much money on mobile only. And 5.4 is a thing. And you still want to support them? I don't care who it is, man. If you're still spending money on this game, you're a fucking idiot, bro. Like, I'll say the only excuse and the only exception is if you are a casual player and you don't pay attention to social media and you're just only playing the game. But even though you're only playing the game, you're not, focusing on what's going on in the community, social media like YouTube, content creators, whatever. You should still be aware that this game is stagnating really, really hard, even if you're a casual player. It's just getting bad to the point where there's just nothing to do. Like you look at version 5.4, party events, filler story that nobody cares about, and that's it. There's really nothing serious going on in this patch. Like if you're gonna put out a filler patch, at least make it to the point where players are actually logging into the game and they're actually getting meaningful content. You can't just say, "All right, guys, this is a filler patch, so therefore we're just not gonna do anything." That's just a lazy excuse. I feel like the whole "it's a filler patch, you shouldn't expect anything out of it." I feel like that's a cope argument because you're pretty much incentivizing the devs to release lazy updates and not implement any sort of meaningful content so that you can actually play the game and enjoy it. So using the "it's a filler patch" update is such a horrible excuse, and I think it's just cope.
Every new region gets a big Archon quest from point 0 to point 3, and then we hit Lantern Rite as a nice little distraction, right? And then 3 to 4 months of nothing. No meaningful story, no substantial content, just events that feel like the developers opened a Google Doc labeled recycled gameplay ideas and picked one at random. In Inazuma,
Devil
it's
May
the
Cry
same
is so
cycle. In
goated.
Sumeru, it's the same cycle. In Fontaine, is it the same cycle? Wait, hold on. Something might change here. No, it's the same cycle. Again, and again. And now with Natlan on the horizon, are we really just going to sit here like good little boys and accept this as normal? Let's put it in perspective. Genshin Impact is a billion-dollar game. $1 billion. They have the kind of money that should let them obliterate the concept of filler patches entirely. Yet here we are acting like it's reasonable for them to stretch out content just to keep players engaged on fumes. At what point do we stop treating this as inevitable and start holding them accountable?
We need time to save up. We need time to save up for, Skirk. That's why they made these updates. We need time to save up. We need time to catch up.
Oh my fucking goodness, bro. Like, bro, these people have no brains. They just have no brains. It's nothing but cope. And you guys think I'm actually lying. I'm gonna show you guys a Reddit thread. We're gonna continue the video. But look at this Reddit thread right here. This person says 5.4 is so lackluster. I think today's update might have been the most boring in 5.0. We get a new mid character and only one event. Seriously, it feels crazy that ZZZ and Genshin come from the same company. Of course, he gets no upvotes or no downvotes. And look at the replies. maybe this is an unpopular opinion, but I'm fine with having a dry patch or two. Gives me time to play other games, catch up on quests, exploration, and save up pools and resources for other characters I'm aiming for. Raiden Shogun is also one of my favorite characters, so I'm glad she's finally going to be in an event and not just 1 to 2 lines or 1 to 2 lines either. Guys, this is insane, dude. And the reason why this is so ridiculous is because the excuse that, oh, dry patches gives me time to save up and catch up. You do understand that even though you complete an Archon quest, when you completed an Archon quest, you can still continue these quests and exploration in that update. Like, these people think that whenever there's an Archon quest update, you're just prohibited from completing side quests, completing world exploration quests. You're only supposed to focus on the Archon quest for that update only. Like, what type of logic is that, dude? Nobody is stopping you from completing these world quests and side quests. Nobody is stopping you from doing this. Like, the Archon quest is just for, like, I think 5 or 6 hours. You complete it and then boom, you have like 30 days to do these side quests that you want to do. So what's stopping you? Like, are you seriously telling yourself that you don't want to do these side quests because it's an Archon quest update? It's an Archon focus update, and then you're only supposed to complete side quests, world quest exploration, and filler updates? Like, this shit makes no sense, bro. And then we continue. He says, "Oh, and then realize how everybody upvotes their comment, right? And if one person says, well, I mean, you can do this in every other update. It's not like dry patches are specifically for you to catch up on side quests. You can do that anytime you want. Just wait for it, guys." This person says, not wanting to be annoying or anything, but what you say doesn't really make sense to me. Like, isn't better to have more to do than having less? You can always do things at your own pace. There's 20 plus days for it. Somebody has fucking common sense here. And even if you can't do it at all, if it was a bigger patch, wouldn't you be able to stock even more resources for the characters you want? Of course, I don't mean all patches should be huge. There's just no way but a little more wouldn't hurt. I was indeed sad when I did the short quest and now only have a small event to do. Just my opinion though, and I too am happy to finally be able to see Yai again. Person says that's a fair point to make. For older players, I'm sure this sort of patch will be kind of annoying, but as someone who's starting the longest quest mine in the game, R&R, I still have more than enough to do. That's all I need to hear. The fact that he's doing R&R quests, that's all I needed to hear, guys. That is all I needed to hear. You doing R&R quests, you're cooked, bro. You should have never did that quest, period. It's not even worth it, man. R&R quest is not even worth it. But once again, guys, the argument that, oh, the reason why these filler patches are necessary is because it gives us time to catch up. Why is that even an argument when you have every other update to do that? You have 5.0, 5.1, 5.2, 3.2. You have all the time in the world to do side quests, character quests. You have all the time in the world to do these side filler stuff. Why are you restricting yourself from completing these side quests simply because it's an Archon focus update and you're saving that for a filler update? It just doesn't make any sense to me, man.
Accountable for it. But let's get something straight. Filler patches aren't just a minor inconvenience, they actively harm the game. People say, oh, it gives us time to catch up. No, that's just coping. These updates aren't designed to respect your time, they're designed to waste it. Filler patches recycle old content and stall the narrative. Instead of meaningful additions, we get rerun events, time-gated fetch quests, and lore drops that barely add anything. Imagine if your favorite anime just stopped progressing the plot for months. Would you call that good writing? No.
Exactly.
Then why do we let hoyoverse get away with it? Oh, it's because it's an anime. It's not a gacha game. You don't understand. No, you don't understand, Sip Steven. Stop defending your billion-dollar company.
These people honestly do treat the game like it's an anime. Like, oh, it's gonna take time for them to animate these future updates. Like, do you guys seriously think this is a fucking anime? Like, what is this, man? What is this? It makes no sense. A multi-billion-dollar company, and it takes them this long just to create a new region, or it takes them this long just to implement meaningful content in the game. It just doesn't make any sense, bro. Like, all these excuses, they're just half-ass excuses, not even half-ass, full-ass excuses that just makes no damn sense. It doesn't make any sense, man.
Hold them accountable. These dry patches lead to creative stagnation. When the game goes silent, players stop logging in, momentums die, and the engagement drops. There's a reason people joke that Genshin is in maintenance mode half the time. If nothing interesting happens, why should players care? Low effort patches compromise quality. If mediocrity becomes the standard, it spreads into everything. Storytelling mid, combat mid, events mid, even the character designs mid. If hoyoverse can push out bare minimum update and still make millions, what incentive do they have to innovate? You Genshin players deserve high quality patches, not placeholders. Genshin is one of the top
I'm gonna have to disagree with that. These Genshin players don't deserve shit. I'm sorry, man. Like at this point, they're far gone, bro. They're willing to defend shit. They're willing to defend shit at this point because the sunk cost fallacy is deep rooted in this community. Like these players, they feel like they have to play the game because they spent so much money. And if they stop playing it, they're like, damn, bro, like I wasted all this money for no reason. And you really did. You really did waste all your money. That's why I'm saying sunk cost fallacy is strong within the Genshin community, and they're just coping at this point. They're just coping. The whole we need to catch up is just a cope argument because no, the fuck you don't. You're not catching up to anything. Like, what are you gonna do when you complete all these side quests? What are you gonna do when you complete all these world exploration quests? Nothing. There's nothing in the game. You just have Sprout Abyss that's a showcase for new 5-star characters. You have TCG that nobody fucking asked for. You have that, I don't know what it was called again, like this dream place where you're using different characters. It's like a roguelike mode. I don't know. But you have that game mode. Nothing crazy about that. Like there's really nothing going on in the game. So what are you trying to catch up to? So like these players are just coping at this point. They're just coping because they realize that there's nothing going on in Genshin Impact. So whenever they drop these filler patches, you can literally see the game at its full potential when they drop filler patches. There is nothing to do. And that's why their argument is, well, these filler patches is for us to catch up. No, the fuck it's not. It's not free to catch up. It's for you to just sit there and wait for the devs to do absolutely nothing. They're just wasting your time.
games in its genre. That means expectations should be higher, not lower. With the money and influence hoyoverse has, there is no excuse for them to operate like a struggling indie studio. If filler patches are the norm, it's not because they have to be, it's because they choose to be. Better updates keep the community engaged. People don't log in just to exist in the game. They need content that actually adds value. New stories, mechanics, and something to look forward to. That is not a radical demand, that's just basic game design. And let's be clear, not every patch has to be a game changer, but if $1 billion company can't even guarantee that their off patches would still be good, what are we even doing here? But you might need receipts, so let me give you one. The newest Genshin update, the Genshin 5.4, is what happens when a game stops trying. Actually, they stopped trying a few.
I literally put it in my fucking title, bro. I said, are the devs even trying anymore? They're not trying. When I saw this live stream, I was like, holy shit. The entire live stream was them showing Mizuki. Half of the live stream was them showing Mizuki's gameplay and just talking about her. And then the other half of the live stream was them talking about party events. Party events, in the, like, whoever, like those two NPC guys where they were just glazing the devs, saying the devs are trying their hardest. That live stream was a fucking joke. It was literally a joke, man. Like, there's literally nothing meaningful in this update whatsoever. Convoluted updates that nobody asked for. You look at the developers' notes, it was a joke. Artifact loadouts, skip button, all these things that players want in the game, the devs said, nah, we don't want that. What we do want is to switch the artifact images, artifact PNGs, and switch them from left to right. Like, come on, guys. Like you defending this game, bro, like, it just shows that you just have no self-respect at this point. You just have no self-respect. And I stand on that. If you defend Genshin Impact, you have no self-respect because they're continually butt-fucking you every single patch. And you're just taking it. You're just taking it, bro. You're taking it. Enough is enough, man. But hey, me personally, bro, I think these players deserve it. They deserve it because they're just delusional and they're far too gone. They're just far too gone. The sunk cost fallacy is too strong for them. And they're far too gone to the point where they're actually coping and they're actually defending this update. This update is garbage, bro. And Wuthering Waves did something very similar to this when they dropped their filler patches. It was mad fucking boring. I literally didn't even play the fucking game. I didn't even play the game. I was considering quitting Wuthering Waves before version 2.0 came out because I just can't stand filler patches that have no meaningful content whatsoever. So it's just insane how Nobody has expectations anymore. These Genshin players have no expectations. They're willing to accept the bare minimum just because they spend money on the game. And then when you tell them to not spend money, oh, I want to support the company. If we don't give them money, how is the game gonna stay alive? Bullshit. You know how much money they make? They have Honkai Star Rail, Honkai Impact Third, ZZZ, all these games they made. They have a bunch of money to the point where they're investing in they're literally building a nuclear fusion reactor, bro. All that money you spent on the game, the devs are taking that money and they're using that money to invest in something else rather than investing into the game that they made themselves. It's embarrassing. It's absolutely embarrassing. The fact that the community, they're not coming together and telling the developers, hey guys, get your shit together or we're not going to play this game anymore. The fact that people are just sitting there just like,
I can't wait to summon for this character.
it's just unbelievable, bro. Unbelievable. No expectations, willing to accept the bare minimum, and that's why the game is like this.
A few while ago, but now it's getting up again. Characters Yume Mizuki is immediately getting dumped into the standard banner, the patch after this one, which is basically hoyoverse admitting that, yeah, she's not worth pulling. And who the hell is even Sitch Weenie?
Whoa, let me take a look at this.
Basically hoyoverse admitting that, yeah, she's not worth
This banner making sense. Not surprised. I mean, she's going to be in the standard banner, and plus I heard that she was a mid character.
pulling. And who the hell is even Sitch Weenie, bro? Who actually want her, bro? Come on.
Ah, hell no.
Unit this patch, a rerun character, Furina. But hey, what about the events though? Hours worth of Yap Fest. And then a PNG of Aether or Lumine taking a bath with some Inazuma characters. Yay! A PNG so happy. A TCG update that nobody asked for. UOL features that should have existed 4 years ago. This isn't in
Until this day, I'm still trying to figure out who asked for this game mode. Like, who went into their survey and said, hey guys, can you please add a TCG game? Who fucking asked for this, man? Because nobody plays this. And then the worst part is, if they want to implement TCG, that's fine, but at least put in a ranked mode, right? Put in ranked where you have a leaderboard showing the top players and showing different ranks like gold, diamond, silver. That would be way more interesting. That would actually make people play TCG and actually compete. But there is no fucking ranked mode. It's just straight casual, bro. Like, you're just going in and just fighting people for no fucking reason. Oh my gosh, man. Like, I don't understand why these developers refuse to implement game modes where players can actually compete with other players. It just doesn't make any sense. This would have been a great opportunity for players to, go up against each other in ranked and, see, who is the best TCG player. But of course, nah, just get inside the match and just, I don't know, throw cards at each other. I don't know, bro.
innovation, it's housekeeping. So what do you do after finishing all the quote-unquote content? You log in daily and do your dailies. Yep, isn't that exciting? Only in Genshin, where they are still making the savior of nation run food deliveries. That's right, the same protagonist who has fought gods, saved civilization in Liyue, and defied fate itself by fighting the god of Inazuma, is being asked to do insignificant and uninspiring fetch quests. What are we doing? And let's also talk about how painful it is to play your game daily. Genshin, your dailies take so long compared to other games. It's insane. In HSR, you can just spend your energy and be done with your dailies. In Zelda Zone Zero, you can just scratch a card, go coffee, spend your energy, and then be done with your dailies. In Wuthering Waves, you can
Player retention. Player retention. That's all they want. Player retention. That's literally all there is to it. Playtime and player retention. They want you to play the game long as possible. They want you to play for a very, very long time because they believe that if you play this game for a long time, it's gonna make you, more interested. It's gonna increase the chances of you summoning for these characters, which is just laughable because the story isn't even interesting whatsoever.
You can also do
Plus, it impresses their investors.
same thing. So why can't you do the same thing, Genshin? God, why does it have to be commission quests? 4 of them. This patch isn't just dry, it's a wasteland. And people are defending this. Why? You know what? I know the answer. It's because we've been trained to expect mediocrity. They are treating you like dogs. They're telling you to sit, roll over, take this filler patch, take this filler patch, take this filler.
Everything this guy is saying right now, I literally said the same thing word for word when I reacted to this shit. The same thing word for word.
patch. Oh, somewhere along the way, players decided that, well, at least it's better than nothing. It's not. It's not good enough, and hoyoverse knows it. At some point, we have to stop excusing laziness and start demanding better. Because if we don't, this is the future of Genshin. Empty patches, recycled content, and a dev team that gets away with doing the bare minimum while still making billions of doubloons. And I don't know about you, but I expect better than that. Alright, let's talk about Wuthering Waves 2.1. Some people might look at this patch and go, well, it's just another dry filler patch like Genshin. And to that I say, are we actually playing the same game? Look, is 2.1 a perfect update? No, but it is far.
Me personally, I think 2.1 isn't that bad. I will say Whimpering Waste was a disappointment because it's a roster check and you have to summon for AoE characters to perform very well in Whimpering Waste. It's pretty much like the pure fiction of Wuthering Waves. Because pure fiction in Honkai Star, you have to summon for erudition characters, right? So I will say Whimpering Waves, it was a complete letdown. But 2.1 overall, it's not a bad update. It really isn't, but there definitely can be improvements. But there's actually something to do in the fucking update, bro. There's actually something for you to do. You can get a free weapon, right? There's things for you to do. There's a new region, not new region, but there's like a new area for you to explore. You got these characters. There's actually something for you to do in this fucking update. Meanwhile, for Genshin Impact, it's like, all right, guys, we're going to drop this filler patch for y'all. Absolutely nothing going on in this filler patch. It's just ridiculous, man. It's absolutely ridiculous how they make these updates. They have so much time to think and craft what they're going to do for future patches. And once they drop them, it's just nothing but the bare minimum. It's embarrassing. And you guys are making more money. You guys are making more money than any other gacha game in the market right now. And that's the best y'all can do. That's the best y'all can do. But of course, Genshin Impact players are going to take their bowl, slurp that shit up, and nothing changes, man. I'm telling you guys, it's a waste of time because as long as the game is making money, nothing is going to change, bro. $99 million for the month of January. The game is a lost cause. It's too far gone. That's why I'm not expecting anything from Genshin Impact anymore. Until players stop spending money on the game, nothing is going to fucking change. They're just going to keep dropping money like a bunch of zombies with no fucking brain cell. Keep dropping in money over and over again, and the devs are like, yep, you guys are fucking morons. We're still going to deliver the bare minimum for you guys because guess what? Nobody's holding us accountable except for content creators and some players. But that's like the minimum. The majority, they don't give a fuck. They're just zombies.
Far from dry. First of all, fishing. And before you roll your eyes, it's actually fun. Somehow they took one of the most overused filler mechanics in gaming and made it satisfying. It's a relaxing side activity that doesn't feel like a waste of time, even though it probably is. Honestly, 10 out of 10. Would abandon every hoyoverse game for this. Oh my god. And then we got the
Genshin's fishing event was horrible. That shit was so ass and it was a pain because you guys remember the reason why we were all fishing was for the catch. That's the reason why we were all fishing, to get the catch. That shit was so annoying because it would like you would have to like get specific fishes just to like I think craft the weapon, and you would have to craft refinements for that weapon, the catch. So it's like you would have to spend the whole time getting specific fishes, and then on top of that, you would have to wait for a daily reset. I think for like 2 or 3 days. It was so garbage, man. That fishing event was trash. I never touch fishing ever again in Genshin Impact. That's how bad it is.
new zones like the Riccioli Islands or the underground vaults, those give players a fresh world to explore. It's not just some empty land thrown in for the sake of content padding. It actually adds to
This
the
place is cool.
exploration loot. The combat updates, look, I'm not gonna lie, the new hologram boss is
Oh, okay, this boss is fucking shit. I ain't gonna lie. Hakate, however you say her name, she's annoying as shit. Literally the worst tactical hologram boss. So
a menace, the kind that makes you reconsider your life choices mid-fight. Do I hate the
I like
off-screen
that, though.
mechanics? Absolutely.
Challenges,
Do I also
though.
respect the challenge?
The game has a challenge, which is really good. I can't stand this boss, but it gives a challenge, and that's what makes it really, really good. If this boss was easy as fuck, I would honestly be disappointed. So I'm actually glad that they made her difficult. It's just that they should, there's some things in her movesets that are kind of fucked. But other than that, I think it's cool how this game is actually challenging and it pushes you to your limits. Right? Meanwhile, for Genshin Impact, it's like, all right, guys, we got a new boss for y'all. In Spiral Abyss, we have Wee Nut, who's gonna fucking float around, go underground. You're just waiting there for like 10 fucking seconds for it to come back out. Like, oh my gosh, bro.
Yes. It forces you to step
Wee
up.
Nut is the worst fucking boss in the game.
your game, and I'd rather take that than another mindless damage sponge, okay? Now let's be real, Whimpering Waste is a weak spot. It's not bad, but compared to the roguelike mode like we had before, it feels like a downgrade. If this mode has the punch of the Somnium Labyrinth thing, it would have had a home run. But hey, it has a lot of potential, so let Kuro Games cook. Moving on, we have PV. I don't care if you pulled for her or not, this character is a 10 out of 10. Flashy, fluid, and she hits like a truck. Or at least she looks like she hits like a truck. She's one of those rare characters that feel good to play, even if she wasn't meta breaking. If you like Frieren the anime, she attacks like Frieren. She's like Soul Truck, Soul Truck, Soul Truck. That's awesome. But also, Wuthering Waves knows how to make their characters exciting while not completely breaking the meta balance. And then we got the QOL upgrades. Echo loadouts, finally. After 4 years, we finally
Echo
got the
loadouts.
wrong game. Sorry, man. And of course, the music is still fantastic. If you ever call yourself humming a game's main theme like the Arena Sita music in the shower, that's how you know the OST is solid. And I've been doing a lot of that, honestly. So does 2.1 have flaws? Yes. Ray tracing, pretty mid. And it's locked behind a high-end GPUs, which is, I guess it's kind of normal. Also, there's no wings in the 1.0 zones, which feels like a cruel joke at this point. Going back to the old areas without the wings.
I completely agree. I haven't even went back to Huanglong because what's the fucking point? You can't even fly in this new region. And people say it's because of the lore, but me personally, I just don't like it. That's why I'm only staying in Renacita as up to right now, because exploration in 1.0 region is just horrible. It just feels so boring and it's just so slow, you know? So yeah.
Wings feels like moving through mud, and at this point, I'd rather fast travel everywhere than deal with the agony of free 2.0 movement. But here's the thing, even with these issues, it's still an 8 out of 10 update. It's still good. This isn't a patch that just keeps the game on life support. It's a functional, engaging update and actually gives players something.
And I'm pretty sure this is a filler update. You see, this is what a filler update should be, right? 2.1 is a filler patch, but there's actually things for you to do. There's like a exploration quest, right? You're going to like the vault. I haven't finished that quest yet, but you're going to this vault with Zani and Phoebe. There's combat, you're fighting enemies, you're going through like this little storyline. There's actually things for you to do in this new update. Meanwhile, for Genshin Impact, it's like, all right, guys, we're gonna give you some Mario Party events, and we're gonna give you a filler story that's completely irrelevant to the main storyline. It's just a waste, guys. It's an absolute waste. And you can sit here and say, well, it gives us time to catch up. That's a fucking cope argument. I don't care what you say. There is no reason, no excuse for the devs to deliver such a boring filler patch where there's absolutely nothing for you to do. It's just dumb, man. It's dumb.
They can actually improve the game. But that only happens when a developer actually listens to feedback and put in the effort. And when they do, a few key things happen. First, the game becomes more polished. Addressing issues, refining mechanics, and fixing bugs means that when the next major update drops, it is built on stronger foundations. It is the difference between a well-maintained house and one with a leaking roof and questionable wiring. One will last, the other's a disaster waiting to happen. Second of all, players actually feel valued. It's not rocket science when devs acknowledge feedback and act on it. Players trust them more. That trust turns into higher engagement, better retention, and positive word of mouth. You know, the bare minimum for a healthy live service game. Maybe you can get a St. Tontus in Genshin soon. Well, maybe not soon, but one day we can hope. Third, a good filler keeps the community engaged. Not every patch has to reinvent the wheel, but meaningful side content, fun events, quality of life improvements, actual substance keeps players logging in. Instead of treating the game like an on again, off again relationship, you don't want your player base to feel like they're enduring patches instead of enjoying them. And finally, it builds reputation for responsiveness. When people see their feedback turning into real changes, they stop assuming developers are just milking the game dry. Wuthering Waves has already shown that you can deliver downtime patches without making them feel like dead air. The question is, why isn't Hoyoverse doing the same thing? At the end of the day, a good filler patch.
That's a great question. The reason why they're not doing the same thing is because, once again, they're getting a ton of money for doing the bare minimum. That's literally the only answer. They're getting a ton of money for doing the bare minimum. Why should they change? If they're going to deliver the shittiest patch in Genshin history, right? One of the shittiest patches ever. There's probably patches that were 10 times worse. But if they're going to deliver such a shitty, underwhelming patch, and the players are still going to spend money and still give the devs money, why should they change? Why should they change? And that's why I say this. If you are still spending money on Genshin Impact, you are a fucking idiot. Like, you are literally an idiot, and you're the reason why the game is that it is in this state right now. Because you're literally giving the devs money for delivering shit. You're giving them money for delivering slop. Literally.
patch isn't just a placeholder, it's an investment in the game's longevity. But if developers treat it like a throwaway update, that's exactly what it becomes. We have to stop pretending that mediocrity is acceptable just because it's familiar. If a smaller company like Kuro Games can deliver meaningful filler patches with new characters, new mechanics, and actual quality of life improvements, then there is zero excuse for a billion-dollar company like Hoyoverse to keep serving up dry, uninspired content and expecting people to be grateful. Hoyoverse is a company with the resources, the talent, and the infrastructure to push out updates that actually matter. But instead, they're serving us the same reheated leftovers, and people are lining up to defend it. At some point, you have to ask yourself, are you genuinely satisfied with what you're getting, or have you just been conditioned to expect less? I've said this millions of times already. Live service games thrive on engagement, players having reason to log in beyond just maintaining their daily streak. But when patches start to feel like obligations instead of experiences, that's a problem. And the most frustrating part, it's not that Hoyoverse can't do better, it's that they choose not to. Because here's the truth, you shouldn't have to lower your standards just because you're used to disappointment. Expect more, demand bigger, because if we don't, nothing changes.
Good video. Great video. Guys, listen. Listen, guys. How many times do we have to go over the same shit? How many times do we have to say the same thing over and over again for these Genshin players to still say, oh, it's a filler update. I think you're overreacting. Shake my fucking head, bro. Shake my fucking head. If we come back to this thread over here, guys, look at this. I am with you. I need to farm, build characters, complete old quests. Oh. Oh my gosh, man. Like, honestly, dude, that's why I don't feel bad, bro. I don't feel bad. I don't feel bad for these Genshin players. I don't feel bad for them because they are so far into the cope. They are so far gone to the point where they believe that if they're not playing a filler update, they don't have the opportunity to grind or build characters or complete old quests. Who is stopping you from doing these things in these Archon focused updates? You look at version 5.3. That was an Archon update. You mean to tell me because it's an Archon update, I'm not going to build my characters. I'm not going to farm. I'm not going to do any of this because it's an Archon update. Who's fucking stopping you? This argument has to be one of the shittiest arguments I've ever seen in my fucking life. Filler patches are okay because it gives us time to catch up. It honestly doesn't always have to be a FOMO rush. Plus, I get to save more primos. I can stack up on resources again and finish building some neglected characters and try out different teams. I'm finishing building Freminate and he's so much fun. Oh my gosh. And you guys see the problem too. Players like this are the reason why the game just cannot improve because they think that their play style should be the center focus for Genshin Impact. I'm fine with filler patches because I can catch up. Meanwhile, you have players who are like, holy shit, there is nothing for me to do because I already did everything in the fucking game. Like, I just log into the game and I look at my character for 2 minutes. I'm like, damn, there's nothing for me to do, and I log out. And you have these players who are literally not playing the game at all. And that's the thing too. This argument just sounds like, okay, it seems like when there is not a filler patch, you're doing absolutely nothing in a fucking game. You're only doing an Archon quest, and it takes you 30 days to complete that Archon quest. And then once a filler patch goes live, then you start coming out. They start coming out from their fucking cave or whatever they came from. And you're like, I need time to catch up. Oh my gosh, I need to catch up with grinding characters. And what were you doing these past 3 updates? These past 3 Archon quest updates? What were you fucking doing? Why all of a sudden when players are saying that this filler update is horrible, why all of a sudden you're like, well, I need time to catch up? How come you weren't saying this in these Archon quest updates? Very interesting. Like I said, guys, gatekeeping mentality. It's the gatekeeping mentality where these players try to disguise themselves as casual players, but in reality, you're not casual players. They're really not. Because if you were really a casual player, you wouldn't be mad that players actually want more content in the fucking game. You wouldn't be mad because you guys do realize that these so-called casual players, they're not denying that there's nothing going on in this filler update for version 5.4. They're not denying that. They're accepting that there is absolutely nothing to do. But the thing is, they're saying, well, it gives us time to catch up. Notice how they're saying, oh, we understand there's nothing going on, but we think it's fine because guess what? We don't want anything to do in the fucking game. That's really what it comes down to. It's just gatekeeping energy, bro. Right? We go down even further. And notice how for the people who are saying, hey, we want content in the game, downvote it. Look at what this guy says. I just can't stand by this whatsoever. As a somewhat newer player, I barely have enough characters to enjoy in the game. One of the few characters I have, Farina, is rerunning, so this entire patch I have nothing to look forward to. No new character is viable gaining for free to play. It's really disheartening being forced to step away from this game and is making me question continuing to play it for the foreseeable future. The only people I can see not minding this are players who have already been playing for so long and have 10 plus 5 stars. And look at this. And notice how this one person is literally arguing with every single person as of to why they believe that the game should have dry dead filler patches, right? I don't understand, guys. I just don't understand, bro. I don't understand this mentality where you have to endure this much pain in a gacha game when devs can literally do better. Like, why can't you just simply accept that the devs can make the game better and this benefits everybody? Instead, what you're doing is you're holding the game back and you're holding these players back because you believe that, oh, I think my playstyle represents everyone's playstyle, so therefore if you don't play the way I play the game, it's just a skill issue or you're not playing the game the right way. Pathetic, man. Absolutely pathetic. And I told you guys, man, I told y'all. People were saying I was overreacting over the 5.4 trailer, saying that, oh, it gives us time to catch up. Now look at this. Look how many people are dissatisfied with this update. Look how many players are not pleased with this new update because there's nothing going on. I'll tell y'all guys, I'm the fucking prophet for this game. I'm the prophet. I am the absolute prophet for this game. And version 5.5 is going to be the same shit, bro. It's going to be the same fucking thing. Same filler update trash. Nothing new, nothing different. They're going to keep delivering mediocre updates, the bare minimum, because these people don't give a shit. They're going to keep slurping up what the devs give them time and time again and keep giving them money over and over again. Nothing's going to fucking change. It's just a cycle. It's literally just a cycle at this point. And look at this right here, guys. It's just a filler patch. We get these every now and then. 5.5 has volcano expansion, so you have that to look forward to. I'm telling y'all, the bare minimum, bro. The absolute bare minimum. The fact that he pretty much said, yeah, fuck your opinion. It's a filler patch. Stop fucking crying. We're going to give you something to do. We're going to give you some crumbs in version 5.5, so be happy with that. Oh my gosh, dude. Like, come on. And this person says 5.3 was also a filler patch. And he says, was it not the ending to the main Natlan story? Yeah, but it was only one act. That's definitely a filler patch. One act of an Archon quest is quite little to do for 41 days. Definitely a filler patch. I'm telling you guys, these people believe that Archon updates should only focus on Archon things. If you complete the Archon quest, then you should just log out the game immediately and not do anything at all. And then once a filler update comes out, that's when you have the you have permission, right? You have permission to do whatever you want in the game. This is insane, bro. Main event is not even out yet, and people are already hating that a small patch came after one of the richest patches. Oh my god! Can't make up. There is no way that this person is flexing that they put 2 5-star characters in one phase, and he's saying that's one of the richest patch in Genshin Impact history. That is nothing for you to be happy about. You do understand. You just admitted that they're making this much fucking money and they're delivering nothing but mediocre updates. Oh my gosh. And this person says not saying to get a job, but netting around. Oh my goodness, bro. Speak for yourself. Mizuki is a cool character, and we're finally getting an Inazuma event after a long time. Like, these people are so quick to shut you down and say, yeah, bro, stop fucking crying and just enjoy the fucking game. Just eat shit, bro. Just eat shit. Whatever the devs do, if they pull their pants down, right? Get to work, man. What are you doing? Get to work, bro. Why are you sitting there? Get to work. Get to slobbering, bro. This is insane. This is insane. Bro, it just started. Get a job. This community is so fucking cooked, bro. This community is cooked. It's such a cooked community, and it's so sad to see how players, they're still spending money on this garbage ass game. They're still spending money hoping that something might happen. Guys, you have been hoping for the past 5 fucking years. Stop hoping. Stop coping. Nothing is gonna happen because you keep giving them money. When you have players like this who are continuously giving the devs reasons to not improve the game, saying, well, it's a filler patch. You know, it's a filler patch. They shouldn't do anything about it. You know, it's a filler patch because it gives me time to catch up. What were you doing for the past 3 fucking updates? Were you just sitting in front of your computer on Genshin just looking at your character, waiting for a filler patch to come out to finally level up your characters, finally progress through side quests, exploration quests? This argument makes no fucking sense to me. Like, oh, it gives us time to catch up. As if you didn't have 4 fucking years to catch up. And once again, what are you catching up to? Killing Timmy's birds on the Mondstadt Bridge? Is that what you're catching up to? Swimming in Fontaine? Unbelievable, bro. Tell me what you guys think in the comment section down below. Make sure you guys go in and check out this video. I'm gonna put the video in the description down below. But, bro, this community is so fucking cooked, man. This is such a garbage community. It makes no fucking sense. And the fact that these players are actually defending a filler patch, unbelievable.